This is the only confirmed case of reincarnation in human history, and it's truly horrifying. In the quiet town of Goobersville, Indiana, in 1939, a young couple welcomed their baby girl, Mary. For the first few years, Mary seemed like any other child, until she started speaking strange words no one could understand. Her parents thought it was gibberish at first, but as she grew, it became clear. Mary was speaking fluent Chinese. The family was stunned. They had no ties to China, no exposure to the language. Seeking answers, they consulted language experts, who confirmed that Mary's Chinese was not only fluent, but filled with phrases no modern child would know. As the years passed, Mary's behavior grew stranger. One day, she pointed to an old map and insisted, "Take me here." The place? A remote village in China. Desperate for answers, her parents finally gave in. After a long journey, they arrived in the village. While riding a train through the countryside, Mary suddenly demanded they stop. She led them to an old farmhouse, ran to the door, and knocked frantically. An elderly man opened it, and without hesitation, Mary bolted inside. The family followed, stunned, as Mary removed a brick from the wall and pulled out a small, dusty doll. Clutching it tightly, she turned to the old man and whispered, "Don't you remember me? This was mine." The room fell silent. What Mary said next left everyone frozen in shock. This girl from Ohio got reincarnated after she claimed she was Cleopatra's servant, and her memories were terrifyingly real. In 1963, in the quiet town of Ashford, Ohio, a little girl named Emily was born. From a young age, she said strange things that her parents couldn't explain. At just 4 years old, Emily told her mother, "I used to live in Egypt. I was a servant to Cleopatra." Her parents laughed, thinking it was just a child's imagination. But Emily didn't stop. She kept repeating it every day. As Emily grew older, her memories grew clearer. By the time she was 6, she could draw and write in ancient Egyptian symbols, even though no one had taught her. She talked about the royal palace as if she had lived there, describing the rich scents of perfumes and the grand stone floors. When Emily turned 18, her parents took her on a trip to Egypt. They were curious but still unsure of what was going on. When they arrived at the Great Pyramids, Emily moved through the ancient halls like she had been there before. She pointed out rooms no one else knew about, walked through secret passageways, and described hidden chambers in detail. At one point, Emily stopped in front of a small chamber and said, "This is where I used to sleep." Her parents were shocked because there was no sign of a room like that on any tour. A few days later, they found a hidden tomb in one of the pyramids. Inside, they discovered a mummified servant dressed in robes, and it looked exactly like Emily. The tomb was unmarked, but above it was a symbol Emily had been drawing since she was a child. Emily's parents couldn't explain it. Some people believe she was Cleopatra's servant in a past life, reincarnated to walk the earth again.